our country is a sanctuary, must be a sanctuary for those fleeing violence. But because Joe Biden knows nothing, he's not aware that some of America's cities are deadlier than the places those people are fleeing from. For example, El Salvador. 1/3 of all living El Salvadorans live in this country now. But here are the numbers. Salvador has 50 murders per 100,000 people. Last year, Baltimore, not a country, the city in Maryland, Baltimore, had 51 per 100,000. In other words, it's more dangerous than El Salvador. Baltimore clearly hasn't benefited at all from America's policy of unlimited immigration. But, none of this matters because for people like Joe Biden and the rest of this country's ruling class, helping American citizens stopped being the point a long time ago. The point is getting reelected and feeling virtuous. Well, speaking of, in 2018, Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf got national attention by warning the illegal aliens in her city about an impending federal ICE raid.
It is a continued perpetuation of a racist lie that immigrants are not valued members of our society. We in Oakland know better. We in Oakland have a community that welcomes and honors all people, no matter where they came from or how they got here.
Oh, she's an incredibly good person. Unlike you, racist. Thanks to Libby Schaaf's efforts, several wanted criminals eluded ICE's grasp, and Oakland became a top haven for illegal immigrants running from the law. One of those immigrants has now taken a life. According to police, Madesyn Alondra Suzanne White was murdered by Roberto Martinez in a road rage incident last month. By the time police identified Martinez as the killer, he had already fled the country. Shauna White is Madesyn's mother. We recently spoke with her. Watch. Shauna, thanks so much for coming on. Our condolences. It's hard even to know what to say. Tell us what happened, roughly speaking, if you would.
Well, basically, my daughter went to the store. Her best friend had moved from Manor to San Leandro over to 98th Avenue. She went to Four Bells liquor store, which we found out is basically a haven for the Border Brothers, which is a gang, a Hispanic gang. And she went in there and she came out. We had just bought her a brand new car, so she had a back-facing camera so she could see behind her, and as she was pulling back, he pulled up behind her, and she bumped into his car. When she got out of the car to take care of it with the insurance, he became aggressive because he's well known over there to rob people and to set people up. They're scammers. And when she didn't have anything else to offer him, he attacked her. He punched her in her face and continued to hit her. It took someone to come and hit him to get him off of her. And my daughter, being someone who is about justice and didn't want to get in trouble, she thought she would get in trouble. She went around the store to try to film the license plate of the person who did that to her. And when she did that, when she went around, he shot her. He let out 10 rounds on my daughter, who is 19. She had just turned 19. It was 19 days after her 19th birthday. I was a helicopter parent, so she never really was in situations like that before. I never knew how to handle that. And he killed her. He killed her, and he's gone.
He was here illegally, and he's since fled the country.
Yes.
Why don't we have his picture right now?
They won't. I believe California, being a sanctuary state, is protecting him and protecting his family. At this point, they're allowing all undocumented people to get licenses. They're allowing them to vote. This has all been laws that have legally passed, and it is not part of their agenda. So it's not important to them. It's more important for them to protect people who are not from this country than to protect their own citizens and the homeless and already the children who are here who are in need of services and protection and everything else that they're lacking at this time. But for some reason, protecting people who aren't from here is more important to our California legislation at this time.
What would you say to Mayor Libby Schaaf, the mayor of Oakland, who made this murder possible? What would you say to her?
There's so much that I would say to her. I mean, at this point, I feel that, it's all about the votes, and at this point, they are a liberal state. I feel that she has no concern for the citizens that are already here, who have been born and raised here for generations. The homeless population that is extensive. I feel that she doesn't care. She cares about lining her own pockets and her own agenda. I feel that she could care less, and I feel like part of the reason why his picture has not been released is because of her personal agenda.
This can't go on. This is so upsetting that this cannot go on. And Shauna, our heart breaks for you, and I appreciate your telling your story tonight, as hard as I know it was. But thank you. We need to know that. Appreciate it.